morning, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Lincoln Kenobi. And before we get started, would like you guys please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. Right now, we had a Netflix movie that was out from Zack Snyder, and it was not good, man. It did not do well. I mean, the first part I saw was good, was fine, looked good, but then after the second one, it was not that great. So I had a bad feeling that it didn't turn out well, man. So here we go. Rebel Moon 3 canceled. Zack Snyder collaborator says it'll take an act of God to save Netflix's space disaster. So Zack Snyder, he tried to do a Star Wars-like movie, and he tried to sponsor it in Disney's with Kathleen Kennedy. Of course, she declined it. And then, of course, Netflix took the approval and went in there. And Kathleen Kennedy did the right thing to decline Zack Snyder's wannabe Star Wars movie. And the Rebel Moon, it just was a complete disaster. Like I saw the first season, and I think it was fine and it was good. But when I looked at that second one, I was like, what? I was like, poorly. It was poorly written. It was just terrible, man. I mean, the special effects and the scenery was nice. It was perfect. But the story, it just didn't cut it, man. Let's read this article and see what we got. Is it possible that Rebel Moon 3 may have been canceled by Netflix? One Snyder collaborator hints that this may be so. Netflix may have finally found the brakes on Zack Snyder's slow-motion space train wreck. Longtime Snyder collaborator and screenwriter Kurt Jostad made it sound like the odds of Rebel Moon getting a third installment are somewhere between slim and you better start praying. Yeah, man. I mean, in a recent appearance on the Miniman podcast, Johnson laid it bare. We outlined movies 3, 4, 5, and 6, very detailed outlines, and Zack has literally plotted out the whole work. We know where we can go. We've written details, outlines. The second movie was to find the princess, and the third movie is to make sure that the princess is where she should be, sitting on the throne and properly ruling over the mother world. He then added, with some luck and an act of God, we'll get to go back to that world. Translation: unless the heavens part and Netflix executives get struck by divine delusion, Rebel Moon saga is likely over. Louise, bro. Wow, dude. I mean, holy sh. I feel sorry for all these actors that went through this, bro, that done these movies. And it's sad, bro. It really is sad. But it's just that it was poorly written. It was poorly written. Viewership is falling faster than a Mother World dropship. Despite an expensive media campaign and the kind of grandiose marketing usually reserved for actual hits, Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, saw a steep decline in viewership compared to its predecessor. That says something, concerning Part 1, A Child of Fire wasn't exactly Stranger Things. While Scaregiver briefly topped Netflix's film chart upon release, it didn't last long. Once the novelty wore off, audiences dropped off, and so did any lingering illusions that this was Netflix's Star Wars. Critics used a flamethrower instead of a pen. If viewership was shaky, critical reception buried the franchise alive. The Scargiver currently boasts its Rotten Tomatoes score of just 16% of the critics, with an average critic rating under 4 out of 10. Reviews called it uninvolving, flat, and perhaps most devastatingly, more of the same. Even the few defenders of Part 1 struggled to muster enthusiasm for a sequel that doubled down on the original's flaws. See, here is the critics, and then here's the audience's score. And that shows you right there how bad the show was. The criticism weren't nitpicks either. Reviewers torched the dialogues, called the characters cardboard, and ridiculed the world building as derivative cosplay. If the goal was to create a mythic sci-fi epic, Rebel Moon instead landed somewhere between bad Dune fanfic and a high school drama class with a green screen, a 1.166 million lesson in when to say no. Netflix shelled out an estimated 166 million for the first two films. That number doesn't include marketing, which was extensive. For context, that's the kind of investment you make when you think you've got a franchise juggernaut, not a streaming afterthought. And not only that, I'm going to be including this. Not only that, Zack Snyder, he likes to try to do director's cuts after the original movie comes out. He likes to do director's cuts, and that costed money too, right there. So I didn't watch the director's cuts on both of them, the Fire Child or whatever, and the Scargiver. I didn't watch the director's cuts. So I tell you, man, it's just that bad. Now with a VR video game already in development first via Sandbox VR, it has been met with raised eyebrows and open laughter. It seems Netflix is trying to squeeze blood from a stone, or at least turn a flop into an immersive experience. But with no confirmed plans for Rebel Moon 3 and insiders using phrases like an act of God, it's clear that Netflix has serious doubts about greenlighting another round of galactic slow motion brooding. Snyder's shift to ground level grit. While Rebel Moon 3 may be cancelled and headed for the black hole of streaming history, Snyder isn't done with Netflix just yet. He and Johnston are now reportedly working on a grounded LAPD thriller, likely a much cheaper airfare affair without space horses, moon rebels, or mystical wheat tossing montages. It's a sharp pivot from the 6-month movie saga Snyder once envisioned, but after back-to-back flops and a fan base that has largely tuned out, it may also be his best chance at a fresh start. The final thoughts? Hope isn't the only thing that's lost. At this point, Rebel Moon is less a franchise and more of a case study in how not to build a one. Overhyped, underwritten, and thoroughly out of stream, the series looks to be heading into permanent cryo sleep, and unless the Almighty perhaps steps in, don't expect a resurrection. Because when your own screenwriter says it would take an act of God to get the sequel made, it usually means the studio already said no. Yep, that's it. So, do I believe Netflix canceled Rebel Moon 3? Yes, because it has not been announced. We haven't heard anything. I think Rebel Moon 2, when did that air? Let me see. I'm going to check when it aired. Let me see. All right. So it got released last year. It got released last year in April. And after that, we haven't heard anything ever since. We have not heard anything ever since that. So right now, I don't know what happened. I don't think this ain't gonna come out. I think it's done. So I think this series is done. I know Zack Snyder tried his very best to make it like a Star Wars movie, but it just didn't work. Especially with him doing all these slow motions. I do not know why he keeps using these slow motion things. So I know it looked cool, but there's always time to cut it off. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think of this, bro. So please share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts of this. And as always, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being part of the channel, and I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.